And he does. You do have a terrible, terrible memory.
I do.
Terrible.
That is true.
Thought mine was bad. Yours is the
I'm
worst.
old.
I that too. You are pretty old. But that's all right. We still like you.
I'm old, but you know what's really sad about that is I'm going to outlive all of you. Fucked up.
Most likely, especially the way Greg's going.
It's time for Rat Salad Review with your hosts, Wayne Noon, Greg Naugle, and Nate Lander.
Welcome to Rat Salad Review. What's up, everybody?
Good evening.
This is video and audio, Ralph. You can talk too.
I'm going to try to do...
Was that a gun?
I'm going to try to do the logo.
Oh, yeah, look at that. That's pretty close.
Pretty good, huh? I can do this, too. I'm double jointed, you know.
Are you really?
Whoa, that's pretty fucking
Wow.
rad.
That's weird.
It's like snakes.
It does.
Hey, you know what they say about people that are double jointed, right? You know what they say?
What I say?
Well, I'm asking you. I don't know.
Girls must love that, though.
I haven't done that yet. I gotta.
So that's why that chick Susie calls you the pretzel.
Well, she's the pretzel, man. Put her legs behind her head like Bugs fucking Bunny. Oh, dice play.
All right. Well, we're not talking about that today. We're talking about Blue Oyster Cult. We're talking
You
about the
mean
new album.
soft white underbelly?
Or what's the other name?
Oddly enough, Saint Cecilia does return on this, although she hadn't been seen since she last got lost in the Stalk Forest off of Oyster Bay in Long Island.
Wonder where that
Right
is.
by the University at Stony Brook, where they found the remains of the legendary Cultosaurus erectus somewhere around 1980.
The remains.
Yeah, I've read the back of their albums a lot, and the inserts and stuff. Yeah,
Cultosaurus Erectus is very special to me because it's the first Blue Oyster Cult album I bought when it was brand new.
Really?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm old.
Yeah.
I've only ever had that opportunity with one other one besides this one, and that was Curse of the Hidden Mirror.
It's got such a cool album cover with the dinosaur with the looks like it has gum in its mouth or whatever. But I don't know.
That little craft.
Yeah.
It's designed to be a filter feeder, so that's what all that shit in its mouth is.
It just reminds me of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Remember that scene where he's with all the dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy!
If they really think we're the devil, then let's send them to hell. That song rules. Divine Wind.
Oh yeah.
It's one of my least
That
favorite.
was Eric's imagining of how Reagan would have responded to Iran if he really could have said what he wanted.
You guys have Black and Blue, the movie?
No.
Well, they perform Divine Wind, and they have footage of the Ayatollah. Was it the Ayatollah?
The Ayatollah Khomeini. Yeah.
They have footage of him. I saw that tour, but it didn't come here. I saw it. Black Sabbath was touring Blue Oyster Cult, Heaven and Hell, Cultosaurus, but it came here without Blue Oyster Cult. But I did see Blue Oyster Cult the following year. Check out this bill. This is amazing. Heart headline. This is at the Miami Baseball Stadium. Heart headline. I recently found the flyer online. Heart headline, Blue Oyster Cult, Firefall, and a band. It wasn't even a band. It was an air band. What it was, they had a contest. The radio station had a contest. Whoever did the best air band performance got to play. And some guys that air band Paradise by the Dashboard Lights by Meatloaf won. Wow. Opening the whole show, the very first American appearance of Motorhead. And
wow.
Awesome.
Ace of Spades tour. I didn't know none about Motorhead. The commercial for Ace of Spades was playing on the radio that week. Performing this week, and they played like 10 seconds of Ace of Spades. And I was telling my friends, we got to get there early, man. That shit sounds heavy. And what I vividly remember when Motorhead was on stage, everybody, it's a baseball stadium. Everybody's sitting down during it, except for two dudes. They were from England without shirts going fucking ape shit. And I was like in awe of Motorhead. I was like, wow. And soon after I found, it was hard to find any Motorhead album. I found No Sleep Till Hammersmith. To this day, my favorite Motorhead album after that. But then I saw Blue Oyster Cult after this on the
Fire of Unknown Origin.
Fire of Unknown Origin with Foghat at the Hollywood Sports Tournament, and MTV was there. And I have both complete shows on DVD. I was at that show, man.
Wow.
Then I saw Blue Oyster Cult about 12 years ago, and they played Take Me Away, which was great. And then I saw them like 2 years ago at the casino. Both shows were free. And one was an afternoon show, and the one before was a nighttime show. So that's how many times I've seen Blue Oyster Cult.
Wow, real cool. Yeah, you saw them right at the beginning of their career. Really, that's cool.
Well,
a little after. No, you know what I mean. Well, because when did Motorhead come? What year was that? The Motorhead one.
80, I think.
80. 1980. That was all in 1981.
So
they were around for 9 years before that one.
Yeah, so that's still kind of the beginning. That's like,
I believe that was called Erectus.
Yeah, it was called Osaurus Erectus, but I would call that about
the good period. The good period.
Yeah.
Regardless.
All of Blue Oyster Cult is the good period. They've never done a bad album.
They had a huge life-size Godzilla. I mean, as big as...
Oh, and Motorhead had that bomber lighting rig, which was revolutionary at the time. Really?
Yeah, no, because they were opening a baseball stadium show,
No,
they did have the bomber. They did have the bomber, but not at that show. And it was daytime. They went on like at 1 in the afternoon.
Oh, wow. That's right. They all opened for fucking Heart of all people. Go figure.
I love Heart.
I do too, but I would much rather see Blue Oyster Cult headline than Heart. Heart can open.
I like Blue Oyster Cult more, But I
Motorhead.
Yeah.
I got to see them with two of those live shows, not the ones that you went to, but they did 2 live shows here.
Yeah, what were you, -6 when I saw that?
When you saw them, I was not. I don't even think I might have been 1. Yeah. long time ago, but it was cool. I seen them 3 times, and actually with the band that's on this new album, they were all the members in the band at the time. They were cool, really cool.
I've seen them twice with this lineup, but I've only ever seen them 3 times because it was weird. They're like my favorite band ever, and something would always fucking happen where the show would get canceled or I couldn't go for some reason. So I didn't get to see them for the first time until about 2012.
Wow. You know what? I've never seen. Even though I don't own anything, but I'm dying to see them, is that, what's it called? Trans-Siberian Orchestra, whatever the fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I'm a big Sabotage fan.
Yeah.
But every time it comes, I always miss it. And it's here every fucking year.
Yeah. I went to it a couple years ago. I was a little disappointed.
Really? Because it looks so cool.
It looks cool, and it kind of is cool, but then, you'll hear them do a Sabotage song. And when I saw it, Zach wasn't there, and obviously, what's his name? The other guy, Steve. John Oliva. He wasn't there. So you're hearing other people do the songs. I mean, it's cool, but you're not hearing the voice that you want to hear. You're hearing somebody else doing this operatic voice, and it just doesn't work.
Right.
But the music itself is cool because you're hearing Sabotage basically. So it's cool to see that. And the lights and all the the stage show and all that crap. But as far as the vocal part of it goes, I wasn't into that.
But you know what, Wayne?
What's that?
The symbol remains.
It does
remain.
It
does.
After a 19-year hiatus of putting out an album, it does remain. I can't believe it's 19 years. That's crazy.
I got a leaked copy from this guy that likes to, download shit for free and not buy anything.
Yeah.
Nothing like what's in back of you, Wayne.
Yeah.
And
I didn't download it, by the way.
I listened to it, and bam, I pre-ordered the vinyl. And the vinyl is not cheap.
No, it wasn't.
it's because it's two vinyls, But and I did, I always do my search to find the cheapest price.
Yeah.
And no, the cheapest I found was right under $30, and I was like, "Fuck it." Spoiler alert! After I heard this album, I bought the vinyl, so you know how I feel about what we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
But I will say this before we get into it: I didn't really feel that much of a vibe of Blue Oyster Cult's earlier stuff, the weirdness. Some songs, yeah, but it's kind of different. I mean, Greg, I don't know. I mean, maybe Greg will answer this because I'm not too well versed on later Blue Oyster Cult. As we all know, early Blue Oyster Cult management had something to do with the music, and everybody that worked with them would put a little input into the music. I mean, did that ever stop?
Sort of. Once you get to Revolution by Night and Albert's gone on drums and just Joe remains, the record company really started to push outside songwriters on them, and they started using more outside writers for the music instead of just the lyrics, because they've worked with John Shirley, who does quite a bit of their lyrics on this album and some of their other albums for years. Richard Meltzer is credited on here, but Castellano just used some of the lyrics from the song Saint Cecilia on the song The Return of Saint Cecilia. Meltzer didn't actually come back for this, but Meltzer and Sandy Pearlman wrote a good amount of their early lyrics because Pearlman was in the same college they were, and he discovered them as a group. Originally, they were a jazz ensemble, interestingly enough, but and kind of formed the band around his own mythology and all this. But the original members wrote pretty well together, but once you get to Revolution, a lot of outside songwriters start coming in, and then especially on Club Ninja, almost 75% of the album is written by somebody else. And I'm just going to say Imaginos is different because I could talk about just the recording and who actually appears on that album for about an hour just because it's such a fucked up patchwork of different sessions. But ever since then, Eric and Buck were kind of the main songwriters. Some of the guys that were in the bands would contribute here and there, but Heaven Forbid and Curse of the Hidden Mirror didn't do too well financially and ended up costing them money. So they haven't really done an album since then. So
actually, wasn't the last last one they did the classics when they re-recorded a lot of the old songs?
No, Cult Classic came out in 1994.
Oh, so it was before those last two albums?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks to Saturday Night Live, there was a resurgence,
Resurgence, yeah. Terrible, terrible skit.
Yeah,
fuck Will Ferrell. But,
it's not funny. I mean, it was like the first time, but then hearing people, and you're out in the streets and they hear fucking Don't Fear the Reaper, and then they start going, more cowbell. It's like, fuck you.
And you know what's funny about that? It's like the cowbell's kind of buried in the mix. It's like if you're gonna talk about cowbell, Mississippi Queen.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like Don't Fear the Reaper, the cowbell is so low in the mix that when I saw the skit, I was like, wow, there's cowbell on that song. Then I had to listen real good. I was like, yeah, I can barely hear it. There's many other songs with cowbell. I think that's a bad example. But then again, it's Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it's a cowbell. It's more like a woodblock thing. It's not a cowbell.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It's a totally different sound. It's not.
No, Al said he played a cowbell on it.
Well, maybe it's just a certain kind of cowbell. It just doesn't sound like. I got two cowbells here. Hold on. Oh wait, my son's probably sleeping, but hold on. Doesn't sound like a cowbell.
Yeah. Well, what was I about to say? Fuck, I got a brain fart now. I was about to say, I'll forget it. I was going to say something.
But yeah, that's the most annoying skit ever. I can't.
Oh yeah, now I remember what I was going to say. The last couple of times I saw Blue Oyster Cult, when they played "Don't Fear the Reaper," Eric did a little cowbell thing.
Yeah.
He would do that. Yeah. I always thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, dude, I love Eric's audience banter. He is just the best ever. Not a lot of it makes it through on their official live recordings, but I probably got about 80 soundboards, and some of the shit he says is just so funny. Like, have you ever heard they included it as a bonus to that Columbia Albums box set? They called it Forbidden Delights, but it's from the Fire of Unknown Origin tour at the Country Club in Reseda from 1981.
Wow, I've been there. That's a small club.
Okay. Well, when he starts introducing Godzilla, he starts describing someone sitting in the room late at night smoking a bowl of weed, and then he goes, and then you look out the window, and holy shit, it's Godzilla. But the way he acts it out, it's just so over the top.
That is on that DVD of the show I was at. When they played Sportatorium, when MTV was there, yeah, he did that whole thing too. And when he's saying it, you hear the footsteps.
Yes.
Yep.
Is it on there too?
Yeah,
you hear the footsteps of Godzilla coming. But when I saw it, dude, they had, I'm telling you, man, huge Godzilla behind them that blew smoke and the eyes would turn red.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. They were huge, man. A lot of people don't, really know how big Blue Oyster Cult was at one time. They were a big arena touring band.
Well, and you know what's funny? How laser light shows became a big deal during concert tours in the 70s? They were actually the first ones to do that, and Kiss, Pink Floyd, and a lot of other bands actually rented B.O.Cs before they could afford their own.
And here's a funny story that's about Kiss, but it goes back to B.O.C. When they did the Dynasty tour, they had this thing that Paul Stanley was going to use where a laser came out of his eye, but right while they were planning all that shit, Blue Oyster Cult blinded somebody at one of their shows.
Yep.
So they ended up scrapping that because of a Blue Oyster Cult show. And they're like, wow, we don't want to get sued. We're Kiss. We are the ones that do the suing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great. I always heard Led Zeppelin was the first one, but then, yeah, I think actually you mentioned that, Greg, that B.O.C. was the first one with the lasers.
Yep, they were the first ones to do it.
Cool stuff. But so now they're back 19 years later with the first album, The Symbol Remains, as we mentioned before. It's going to be released October 9th. Hopefully this episode comes out a couple days before then. But, yeah. So, actually, and Ralph, too, since you didn't hear the last two albums, this album sounds, at least to me, a lot closer than those last two albums than anything else like the older material.
It does.
So if you do like this album, you should really check out.
Okay, I will. I got to anyway.
Yeah, you
have to look into it. But right on. All right, yeah. But I love this new album. I mean, is it perfect all the way through? No. But man, there's some good highlights on this album.
Oh
yeah, there is. Yeah, the first track, that was me. When that first came out, I saw the video. I listened to it, and I was like, I don't know. It's okay. But then after I listened to the full album and everything, it grew on me the more and more I listened to it. And it's probably one of my favorite tracks on the album. There's a lot of cowbell on this one. Actually, Al Bouchard is doing the cowbell.
Yeah, I was going to say, I love this song, if only to hear Al's awesome backing vocals on a Blue Oyster Cult song again.
And he's in the video.
Yep.
Yeah.
Playing the cowbell, which is hilarious.
Yeah, so that's cool. Actually, there's a lot of cowbell on this album. I don't know if anybody kind of heard it. I don't know if they did that purposely.
Unfortunately, I only got to listen to it once in its entirety. Well, one time and a half. I didn't. I got all busy today, but I'm judging this album on one listen, with the exception of the singles. But the first time I heard That Was Me, I loved it right off the bat.
Me too.
I love the fucking, you see those holes in the highway sign, that was me. I'm selling crack, that was me. I love that. It's like, yeah, man, it's fucking, it's juvenile, but it's awesome, I love it. I just got offhand. And, it's too soon to say, man, but at the moment, it's my favorite track on here. But coming up, there's a song on here that's fucking awesome that I heard for the first time today. And I only heard one time, and we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah. That's the thing, too. I think on first listen, I was, really hooked on this album. Usually it takes me a while to get into something, but this one, I was kind of leery about listening to it, too, because, given their age, I mean, they're older guys, and you think, older guys are going to put out some kind of older sounding albums, and this is very modern sounding. It fits in with today's bands and today's music, and don't sound like an older band at all to me.
Right.
I mean, half the guys are younger.
But I think it sounds a little too modern in certain spots where it loses that essential Blue Oyster Cult sound, and that kind of bothered me about this. But it's not like they've never done that before. They did that on Club Ninja as well.
Right, yeah. Which some of these songs, like the next song, Box in My Head, sounds like, to me, a little bit off of Perfect Water.
Well, you know, that's one thing about some of Buck's lighter songs like that since the 90s. They all kind of follow kind of a similar melody theme with the way they sound. They're all, well, yeah, because you said Perfect Water. What Box in My Head actually made me think of more directly was Harvest Moon from Heaven Forbid, which, by the way, is an amazing song, Ralph.
I love that song. That's my favorite Blue Oyster Cult song, by the way.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, I love that song. That's actually, my friend showed me that song, and then that's what hooked me onto Blue Oyster Cult. Because the only thing I ever knew was Don't Fear the Reaper. And then he showed me that song. Like, holy shit.
They did that live both times when I saw them in 2018 on the 40th anniversary tour. But the first time they did it right after the Vigil. And that was fucking awesome. Them two songs went together very well. Oh, and also, that was another thing I wanted to say. You know, this is, because I have different live recordings, even though I didn't see them for years. But this is my favorite band they've had of guys put together since the original group. So I'm really glad they were able to get together and record a studio album with this lineup.
Yeah.
Because one thing about these guys, especially Randino and Castellano, is they have that very jazz, swingy type background to them, like the Bouchard brothers and Alan Lanier did. And I think it fits really well.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought so too. When I first saw the first concert I saw them, I saw these guys, and just telling the way they acted on stage and everything, the way Richie's like all over the place, and he's playing one instrument, and then he's playing another one on another song, and he's doing something else, and he's singing, and he's doing all this shit. I'm like, this guy can just be the whole band himself, you know, and he just does such a great job. And he's on a couple tracks on this album. But as far as this album goes, Box in My Head, my favorite track off this whole thing. I love how Buck Dharma sings on this song. I love his vocals. The lyrics are really cool, you know, typical Blue Oyster Cult stuff, and very catchy chorus. Good stuff.
Well, the first time I heard it, I liked it, but now it's a grower. It's a really good.
Oh, yeah.
I love Buck's voice.
Yeah.
It has this kind of catchy commercial vibe to it, and the song complements his voice because it's a catchy tune. Yeah. I dig it. I like it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Me too. I love that song.
I got to check out the video. Cause
you're right. When I first heard it, I was kind of like, but listening to it a couple more times.
Yeah, I didn't dislike it. I didn't dislike it because when I saw That Was Me, it was like, wow, that was awesome. Then when I saw Box in My Head, I was like, it's not as good, so it kind of tainted it for me. But now it's like, shit, I think it's almost as good as That Was Me. I mean, at the moment, I got to live with it more, but That Was Me is my favorites, you know, as of right now. But that will probably change because there's some good shit coming up.
There's some really good stuff.
My favorite song is actually coming up here. But,
all right. Well, one of your not so favorite ones, I guess, because we talked earlier about this, Tainted Blood.
Man, did this song piss me off.
But it's the debut of Richie's vocals on a Blue Oyster Cult album. And the album takes a turn here a little bit. Almost doesn't sound like Blue Oyster Cult because of the way how Richie sings. And actually, somebody on your page, Ralph, Joey Lummox or whatever his name is.
I don't know. I had anybody.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of weird people on there. But I couldn't think of who the hell Richie sounds like, and he said it right there, Joey Lynn Turner. And I'm like, yes, perfect. Okay, Joe Lynn Turner. That's almost exactly like Joe Lynn Turner.
His voice is good, man. It's not like right in between Eric and Buck. I mean, technically, you know, he's got a better voice, but technically doesn't mean shit to me. I'd rather listen to, a good guitar player than Yngwie, even though I love Yngwie. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying he's got a good, strong voice. I like it a lot, and I didn't mind the song. I thought it was it was like Box in My Head as far as commercial and kind of catchy. I didn't dislike it.
Yeah.
It's commercial and it's catchy, but it's not commercial and catchy in the way that Box in My Head or a couple of the other songs on here are. I feel like it's way too modern, man, especially whatever effects they do to his voice there. Like the chorus drives me nuts, especially because the lyrics by Eric Bloom are so strong. But the chorus, it sounds like any song you would hear a number of faceless white teenagers singing on current rock radio. Yeah. I just couldn't believe I heard that on a B.O.C. I mean, I kind of can because they did make the horrible Bob Halligan song, Make Rock Not War, but let's forget that if we can. But I love the guitar riffs on this. I think they're some of the strongest on the album from both Buck and Eric, but just the chorus kills it for me. It just sounds a little too modern and commercial. I think his voice does better on the other two tracks he sings here.
See, that's the thing I like about this, the chorus. It's almost like a 80s power ballad type.
Except it's not.
It sounds
it's not. It sounds more like that Keith Urban country crossover crap.
You keep saying that to me, but I don't hear it. Maybe I like Keith Urban.
Go listen to Josh Groban or whatever the fuck that
I'm proud to say
name
that I don't know
is.
who Keith Urban is.
He's a country music artist.
I'm just using names. I don't know. They're all
brought 'em up,
faceless
not me.
to me. I don't even know who I'm talking about, to be honest with
Sure
you.
you do.
I've seen
Go
this
for it.
crap on TV,
Yeah,
so
I know Keith Urban's a name out there, so I'll use him. Fuck it.
yeah.
If you know the name of a country artist, chances are they suck. If you're talking about a recent country artist, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. My son's got me into some country artists, and I'm not going to go there.
You need to send him to therapy.
I do. He's only 4 years old though.
So what?
Not early, not too early.
He needs Ritalin.
Yeah, some days, it seems like he might.
Tried beating him with a hose, but my arm got tired.
What happened to me? My dad broke my hand, right here, my thumb, with a hose because he hit me with a hose and it was the gun, the gun at the end of the hose.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why he did it, because dude, you talk about the best teenage lifestyle I had. I didn't live with my parents. They had a house behind the house, and then there was a carport that was kind of a room, right? And I invited all my friends. We got drunk. We fucked a bunch of chicks. And then I got all fucked up. I went into my carport and I passed out in the couch in there. My dad woke up, went to the back, found like a couple dudes with some chicks, kicked them all out, and then beat the hell out of me going, "What are you, gay? All these guys out there with girls and you're not even with a girl?" And I didn't have the heart to tell him, "Dad, I had a lot of Jack Daniels, man. I just left." But I fucked it was a fuck ahoy session, man. It was a total orgy. That's the story of the hose. And wait, I'm not done with the story. When he broke my hand, I ran to the clinic, and the doctor said, "How'd that happen?" And then all I can think about is my dad kicking my ass. I was like, I fell.
Battered wife syndrome.
But I'll tell you this, man. I'm glad my dad kicked my ass, man. He kicked my ass many times, and I deserved it every fucking time.
I'm sure
That's why today kids are the way they are, because they don't get hit.
That's right. Exactly. That's totally true.
I always learned.
Yeah,
I always learned. I knew to stay in the room with the chicks ever since that time.
Why would you leave? There's chicks there.
I was just drunk.
Have
man.
you ever drank a lot of Jack Daniels like that, Wayne? I understand why he walked away and passed out alone. I have been there many a time.
And a Quaalude.
Oh, well.
Quaaludes was.
I miss them fucking things.
Let me tell you something. If they didn't outlaw Quaaludes, I wouldn't be here today. I loved it so much. I would have been dead by now on that shit. That was the greatest drugs ever. You know what I loved to doing on Quaaludes? Running into a wall. I loved doing it. It made me feel so good. That day, it fucking sucked.
Mine was similar, but my favorite thing to do, because you couldn't feel anything, was to curl into a ball and purposely fall down the steps.
There you go. Yeah. Quaaludes.
My buddy's got me on video somewhere doing it like 10 times in a row. I'm telling you, dude, you gotta do this. This is the best thing ever.
Yeah,
Then the next day, I'm like, why can't I move?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Greg. Quaaludes, to enhance a buzz on Quaaludes, you have to hurt yourself. It would enhance it. So I run into a wall. Bam! Oh, that was great. Then the next day, I'm like, fuck!
No, I'm the only straight edge person here. But to me, it sounds like you guys had an epiphany, maybe a nightmare epiphany.
My
is the next
favorite
song?
song so far on here. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's got that great jazzy type groove to it, man. I mean, they really swing here, and it's some of the best guitar Buck does on the record. The lyrics are great. This one really sounds almost like Spectre's or Agents era B.O.C.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
But it's got a modern bent to it. But I mean, this is a true B.O.C. classic right here. I think I really enjoy this one.
yeah, this is the first song on here that I go, okay, I can hear some classic B.O.C. in this.
Yeah.
Because it's all over, it's all over the place. And it's got kind of like a little Skittle, Skittle music.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm loving those vocals Buck brings to this song. And the melodies are like rich. And it's very different from the first three songs. I really dig this one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. For me, it's like a little toe tapper kind of song. It's got that straight beat throughout pretty much the whole thing. Until it gets to that part, like you just said, that little scat part. And I almost thought they were gonna like break out into like ballroom blitz, because that's what it kind of sounded like a little bit. So it's a man in the back of the bit. So yeah, no, it's a cool song. I like how the vocals are talking over the music. It's not like going with the music, so that's pretty cool. Like typical B.O.C. track. So it's a good song. Good one. Edge of the World. This one's very chorus driven. It seems like the focus is really on the chorus. It's got like 2 verses, and then the rest of the thing is just all chorus.
Yeah, I like this one, but even though it's only 5.5 minutes long, I think it's a little too long. For that reason you said about the chorus. It repeats a little too much. Yeah. But other than that, it's a solid track.
Yeah. The chorus part almost sounds like Def Leppard in a way. Just the way like everybody's like singing in it together. Just, I don't know. It's weird.
Well, see, B.O.C. always did that, though, ever since their classic
I don't remember
days.
choruses like that.
All the members have always shared vocals on different choruses and backing vocals here and there. Yeah.
I like Eric's snotty coolness to his voice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He does that quite a bit, and he really does that a lot on this tune. Yeah. And it really shines on this song, that snotty type, voice. Yeah. And I love that kind of melodic bridge it has. So far I'm digging every song on this,
Yeah, so far it has not really been a bad song.
There's a couple coming up I'm not too crazy about, but it's only one listen, so this may not be a fair review on my part.
And honestly, even though I don't really care for Tainted Blood because of why I said it, it's still a good song, and I wouldn't skip it. The whole album up to this point plays really well.
Yeah. Next track, The Machine, another song with Richie singing. It's the second one. He's got 3 songs on this album, actually.
This is a good one. He wrote this himself. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Completely on his own.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. I thought he must have had a lot of hand into all these songs, really, though. You think? Or no?
Oh, they all did. Yeah. This is a really collaborative effort here, which is cool. Because that was one thing that was a shame when it was only, Buck and Eric being the main songwriters. Yeah. There's still some really good tracks on there, but there's some real middling stuff where it's just too samey on. Well, right. Curse of the Hidden Mirror is actually a really good example, even though I still like that record too. But
but this one you can tell there's a lot of people on, working on the songs on this one, and like I said, Richie again, he's a great vocalist. The song's pretty cool. One thing I noticed is the cowbell is sticking out a lot in this song. It's almost like the cowbell for the click track, for the band to stay on time. It's exactly what it sounds like to me. It don't sound like a real cowbell. doesn't sound like even the stick or whatever it is. It just it's the click track. But it works with the song. It's cool. It fits with it. And it actually kind of distracted me, but whatever. And again, there's another '80s type chorus in this song.
Well, there's that little riff throughout that song that goes da na 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 na. That's the same riff as 10 Seconds to Love from Motley Crue.
Oh, see, there was something I remember that sounded like another band. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's just very short riff, but it comes several times during the song. And, I dig this one, too. Looking at my notes, I think, what did I write? It's another fun song. The melodies of the song are incredible, I think, So far, I'm loving every track.
Yeah, Richie's a good little addition to the band. I was very surprised they let him sing songs. I didn't expect them to do that at all.
No, they
I know he does it live.
What did he sing live? I can't remember now, but he sang a couple of tracks live. So, but I mean, you can even tell with how tight they play. They've adapted things in certain songs to kind of fit his and Jules' style better, and that's what I said. I'm super happy with this record. They're a really good unit. This lineup.
Yeah. Next song, Train Tune, Lenny's song. The moment I heard the song and I heard that train horn coming in, I'm just like, oh, here we go. Here comes a train song, and I don't like any train song. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just don't like trains. I don't know. But this song's okay. It's got that typical shuffling drum section in it, and the horns and all that stuff. The train. Few listens. It's a cool song. I don't know. It's not my favorite track off the album, but it's not terrible.
It's not bad. I like it. Me personally, this is one of the ones I would have left off the record, not because it's a bad song, but to me it feels really out of place. This sounds a lot like something from Buck's solo record, Flat Out, which is a great record in its own right, but just slightly different from Blue Oyster Cult. It kind of has that almost that 50s rock edge.
Yeah.
Kind of that throwback sound to it, and it's catchy. It rolls along, but it kind of messes up the flow of the album for me a little bit.
You know what it kind of reminded me of?
I would have made it a B-side.
Yeah. Remember when Alice Cooper did, what the hell album was that, where he had the band do the bonus tracks?
Oh, the last one, Paranormal.
Not the last one, the one before that. Welcome to My Nightmare 2.
Oh.
I think it was, yeah. And then there was some train song on there, too, and it kind of reminded me of that. That's
no idea.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like classic B.O.C., but it does have some wacky-ass changes reminiscent of the past. This track is very wordy. There's a lot of lyrics to this song. I don't like it as much as the tracks before it, but it is a fun song, and I don't really think it's skippable. I like it, but, it's not as good as everything we've heard so far.
Right, yeah. And we get to the return of Saint Cecilia. I saw that name, and I'm like, oh shit, they're going like back to the beginnings of the the band or whatever. And then I was surprised again. Here's Richie singing again, and he wasn't even in the band back then. So what the hell's he doing singing? But still, pretty cool song. And then, like you said, I didn't realize, Greg, that some of the lyrics were borrowed from that original song, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, this is another song Richie wrote himself outside of the lyrics that he borrowed from the original. Wait, would they? No, they were the Stalk Forest group by then, but the Stalk Forest group song, Saint Cecilia. I think it's just called Saint Cecilia. It might be one of them weird ones with a longer title, but I don't remember. It's been a long time since I listened to that album.
But cool song. It's a little rock and rollish, a little different from the other songs, but still decent song. I like it. It's pretty cool.
And I like this one a lot. I really like the guitar solo in this one, actually.
Yeah, that's what really struck me about this song. It may grow on me because I only heard it once. This is already by the time I haven't heard. I only listened to this once, but it didn't really hook me. This one, it's very rocky rolly. So is the one before, Train True. Yeah. Both these songs are very rocky rolly, and. But you know what? It may be my favorite later on. I'm just judging this on one listen. Didn't really grab me like everything before it. So,
Yeah, this is another one of my favorite songs on here, actually.
Oh, really?
And it does include some classic B.O.C. isms in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you listen to it again, you'll pick up on it.
I got to listen to it more. Though I do remember the solo was awesome.
Oh, the solo is great. The whole guitar line to it is just amazing. That's a great song.
Yeah, a lot of good guitar work on here. Next song, Stand and Fight. I did not expect this. This is like heavy, really Metallica almost inspired song. You know, and I'm thinking, maybe this is the heaviest Blue Oyster Cult song, but then I'm thinking there's that See You in Black. That's like probably maybe their heaviest song.
I just find it funny because, you know, usually you go first, and every time a song reminds me of Diamond Head, you always say it reminds you of Metallica.
I don't think of Diamond Head. You do most because you love them more than I do. But yeah, I could see Diamond Head too. Yeah. But I don't know. Just sounds like a modern day Metallica song. But it's a very heavy song, and it's a really cool song too. It doesn't do much. The guitars are just like kind of almost like the one chord thing, but it's a really cool song.
Oh, I love it, man. Great driving song with some cool riffs. I love the lyrics Eric spews out during this song.
Yeah.
It kind of threw me back a little bit. I go, oh, man, this is some good, heavy shit right here. Probably. I mean, on first listen, this one grabbed me the most out of all of them.
Right.
I'm not including the That Was Me or Box in My Head because I already heard those a few times. I even heard Tainted Blood because they made a video for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I've heard that like two times before this. But these are all, I'm going on just one listen, and this is the one that grabbed me the most. There is another one coming up too. That's heavy too. That grabbed me too, just almost as much as Stand and Fight. But I dig it. I thought it was really good, and it was during Stand and Fight when I was listening. I was like, let me get on Amazon. I got to order this shit. You know, I need.
So you should have ordered it a lot sooner because they had all different colors of vinyls and everything.
I'm not the biggest fan of colored vinyl.
I'm not either, but they were like limited to 100. So I was like,
I like my vinyl like I like my Sabbath.
How do you like your Sabbath?
Black.
I got the green color.
No, I like colored vinyl. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, to me, it's like
it doesn't matter. The music's still gonna sound like the same.
It's picture. It's like I don't. You probably can't see it, but I have a whole wall of picture discs.
Yeah. No, picture discs sound like shit. That's a total waste of money.
But picture discs are meant to be seen, not heard. And I feel kind of the same way with colored vinyl. It's like it's fucking awesome to look at, but fuck, dude. I mean, give me.
It's not like you leave it on the wall or something and you're looking at it. You know, it's just going to be inside the case, so it doesn't really matter what color it is.
Yeah, but I will say they have some picture discs sound good now with technology.
Yeah,
there's some good sounding picture discs out there now, but the old ones, that surface noise.
Yeah, it sucks. Like you mentioned. Oh wait, no, we were talking about that one. A song about you, Ralph, Florida Man.
Yeah, this one does nothing for me, and I'm a Florida man. Yeah. This one was very strange. It was just, I was like, I'm not feeling this one. But yeah, it's a song about me, but I'm not feeling me. I'm not masturbating.
What about you, Greg? Are you masturbating to this song?
No. The lyrics are very clever, but musically it doesn't work for me. It's just weird.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Just didn't. It's a decent song. You know, it's not terrible, but not much going on. The Alchemist, probably my second favorite off this album.
Very old track.
Very old school sounding B.O.C. right here. Love the vocal performance on this by Eric. Reminds me a bit of Astronomy. Kind of got the same feel.
A little bit.
Yeah, I hear it because of the little piano thing.
Yep.
Again,
middle solo section, that's fucking awesome. It almost sounds like a Maiden type solo.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the other one I meant. Like, this one, Stand and Fight. Like, I was like, this sounds really good. And I think it has some clever lyrics. and some great heavy riffage. It's like the album's back on track. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, good stuff. Greg.
I love this song. This is one of my favorites from here too. Can't really say anything more that you guys didn't already.
Yeah, no, it's really a great track. Secret Road. Very laid back track. Another good one. Buck's vocals, again, just great. They go right along with the song. Really cool to hear him singing.
I dig it. It's mellow-ish. It's got some great structures, and yeah, Buck, man. Buck shines. I love his voice on here. Yeah, it's commercial-ish. I dig it. I like the song.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a good song, but it's just one of those Buck songs like Deadline from Cultosaurus Erectus. It's a great track. It's melodies are awesome. It's just kind of there. I mean, there's nothing really stand out about it. It's pleasant to listen to. I like the song, but
There's a Crime. To me, it's very similar to That Was Me, the opening track. It's got some decent guitar work in there. It's got kind of like the same beat, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
When you go back and listen to it for a second time, you'll hear the similarities. But pretty good song.
Yeah, it's not a bad song, but the lyrics seem kind of lazy to me.
Yeah,
it's the lyrics kind of like, I don't know. It's definitely a filler, but it does rock. It's not the worst on here. Florida Man's worse.
Yeah. Florida Man is definitely the worst song on the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, when I heard Florida Man, and I couldn't tell what they were saying. If they were saying Florida Man, I'm like, why are they saying Florida Man? I had to turn on my phone to see what the hell the actual title was. So I thought that was kind of weird. And then we get to the last song.
The people down here in Florida do suck, so maybe they were going for that vibe.
They do.
Hey, I know a lot of Florida people. They suck, so let's do a song that sucks about Florida men.
It's always hot down there, and you got all those bugs down there.
Yeah, and they're all fucking
alligators.
Yeah. Did you know, side note, I moved to Florida at 8 years old. I did not see an alligator till I was in my 30s.
Really?
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Crazy.
Where'd you see it?
I went to the Everglades. I've never been to the Everglades, all my youth, ever. And then I went, and I saw an alligator. I was like, wow. And I always was complaining, man, I live in Florida. I've never seen an alligator.
Wow.
But,
Shit,
alligators scared the fuck out of me.
I only lived on the Treasure Coast, and I only lived there for 2 years, and I've seen plenty of them. That's how I lost one of my bikes, actually. I didn't see it in the damn drainage ditch, and it went for the wheel.
Oh, wow. Oh, it grabbed it?
Yeah. I
Wow.
was so close to its face, it pissed it off, and it grabbed the fucking front of the bicycle.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's crazy.
Well, I'm sure you were fighting, just like the last song on this album, Fight.
This song's another great one. This is another ripper. It picks back up here.
There's
There's
kind of a little bit laid back again, It's not like a in your face track. It's kind of just like a mellow ending to the album.
Well, I didn't mean ripper as in high energy. I just meant it was a better song than the filler track that just happened. Just poor choice of words there.
Great opening lick. I love that little lick in the beginning of the song. It's melodic. This one may be a grower because I kind of feel the lyrics are kind of lazy, but not as lazy as, better than that crime song. But I was listening to this. This was the last track, and I was doing stuff around the house. And in my head, listening to it, I kind of predicted how the chorus would come in, and that's a good sign. When it's like, because you're expecting it and it falls in place. So I did dig it. I did dig the song. I thought it was, it's mellow and everything, but it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool ending.
All in all, most of it I really liked, and some of it was like, it's 14 fucking songs, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I have a philosophy. My records don't go over 40 minutes. Whenever I release anything, I don't like releasing long. I like to, cut off the fat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, just cut to the chase. People don't want to sit a whole 2 hours listening to an album.
I love short albums. My favorite albums are short albums.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anything else you want to add to the last song, Greg?
No, I like it. It's a good closer. It's got a good beat to it, and yeah, just a good B.O.C. closer.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'm very pleased with this album, and I'm probably going to say it's possibly one of my favorites of 2020. Although I really haven't listened to too many albums from 2020. Actually, have many albums even been released in 2020? I don't know.
Onslaught, man.
Yeah, I was going to say
Onslaught,
Onslaught
okay.
came out. That's about.
I don't think I ever listened to that.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Well, didn't the new Heathen come out this year?
I'm not sure. If it has, I haven't heard it yet.
No, I just heard it. I just wasn't sure if it came out this year or last year.
I love the new Striper too, and I swear I'm not religious. It's
Shame
very metal. It's like,
I just bought the Yellow and Black Attack first press CD for $1 at a.
Really?
What the fuck do you call them things? Not a yard sale, but
thrift shop, flea market.
shop?
Flea market. There you go. Yeah, flea market.
Wish we had flea markets here. But anyway, yeah, I really like this album. It's probably going to be my favorite of this year. And,
I
it
enjoyed
exceeded my
it.
expectations. You know?
I was expecting something good because it's been 19 fucking years.
Yeah, you can't put out something bad after being gone that long.
I'm sure
I knew it was going to be good. I just didn't think it was going to be as good as it was.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah, it surprised me quite a bit. I like this album a lot.
Yeah, I do too. And like we were talking about earlier before, we saw this band, playing a couple shows and stuff, and I always wanted to see what they would come out with, and I'm very happy with the album, and I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I think that would be my rating too. Maybe 8.5, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, because I could listen
one listen.
On one listen. I listened to this thing all freaking day. I listened to it probably about 4 or 5 times.
Oh, okay.
And
did it grow on you? Did some of it grow on you?
Some of it, yeah. Some couple songs that I didn't kind of care for did end up growing on me. But I can listen to this thing from first song to the last song all the way through. It's just one of those ones you just leave it on and listen.
I'll definitely be dumping into my iPod, and I always listen to my iPod when I take my walk. So I'll be doing that. I'll be playing this one on repeat for my next few days of walks. To let it sink in.
Yeah.
Because I got to do something about this on my YouTube channel too. I want to make a video about it once I get the vinyl, I can hold it up for my video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Greg, what's your feelings? What would you rank this album?
I like it a lot. Probably give it an 8, maybe an 8.5. It's a little too long. There's a couple songs I'd cut off for pacing reasons and a couple that I don't like. But it's a really strong return album for them. And they do really great here. Yeah, I love it. It's just really cool. I love all their albums so much.
I didn't know that was your favorite band. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Them, Voivod, Celtic Frost, I would probably pick as a top 3.
You gotta watch his Blue Oyster Cult episode with Martin Popoff.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. We talked about his book, and they're just kind of them through the years and different things they did.
What's the name of that broadcast?
It's on Rat Salad Review. I don't know. It's on there somewhere.
I think it just says like episode. It gives the episode number and it says me and Martin Popoff, but I don't think I gave it a specific name.
Gonna make me look.
Right.
But anyway, this exceeded my expectations. It probably will be my favorite album of 20. Well, that's tough saying that because I love that Onslaught record.
Me too, man. I hit up Popoff to do an episode. He never got back to me, and that was right when I bought that Merciful Fate book. So, Martin.
Nah, he gets back to you. He's pretty good with that shit.
Well,
but
he did.
Keep trying him.
I got fucking 10 million views and 18,000 subscribers, motherfucker.
He came on our show. We only had like 200 subscribers.
What's up with that? And I even buy your books. You prick.
That's fucked up.
Think I'll still do my show now?
We just lie and tell them I'm Tommy Chung at first, and then by the time they find out I lied, it's too late.
But the episode that Greg did with Martin Popoff, it's Rat Salad Review episode 74. Blue Oyster Cult with Martin Popoff.
I'll check it out, man. Even though I don't like the prick, I'm just kidding.
I don't like Greg, so I wouldn't watch it. But
I'm only gonna watch it for Greg. Fuck that.
Oh, fuck
Well,
Greg.
thank you.
Mute Martin until he does my show.
But so go check that out. And while you're doing that, go to ratsaladreview.com. Check out all of our other shows, and please check out Ralph's stuff at Almost Human on YouTube and Ralph Viera, the Viera Vault. And you got tons of other shit going on as well, right?
Busy
Want to
guy.
reveal anything?
I'm working on my next album. I just did a cover of the Plasmatics, Just Like on TV. And I'm about to, this weekend, I am recording an album from a band called Old Leather, where, it sounds like, I'm recording with Old Leather. No, it's a band that somebody from that lives in Tampa that I met when we toured Puerto Rico. He's a great guy. He moved to Tampa. He wrote 6 songs. And there's one song that's going to be extremely controversial that I may go to jail.
Okay.
It's a song called Heavy Metal Suicide. It's me promoting suicide. I'm saying stuff like, get the gun. Point the gun to your eye. Heavy metal suicide. No better way to die than heavy metal suicide. But
Hey, Dave made it a #1 hit.
Yeah. Well, what I'm doing is a backward masking in the beginning that says, do not kill yourself, do not commit suicide unless you're a pedophile.
Good.
Yeah.
I agree
Cool.
with that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a really catchy tune. I put little news clips from the 80s of the kid that killed himself for Ozzy and the kid that killed himself for
Priest.
Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the documentary Don't Blame Me from Ozzy Osbourne? I put the clip of that guy, get the gun, shoot, 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 get the gun. I put that in the song too. It's really badass.
Well, I hope it does great, and I hope you don't get in trouble.
I hope so. I mean, come on. It's not going to be on the like the radio or anything, but
No, but
all I need is some idiot to kill himself with that fucking CD in his player when it happens, and I'm in a shitload of trouble. I'm just going to say that guy over there in Tampa, he wrote the lyrics. I had nothing to do with it.
But if anything happens, let's make sure it happens after we're done with the King Diamond show, because then we don't have to worry about you.
Sure. Well, I'm recording my vocals this weekend, so it'll probably be out by early or mid 2021.
Oh, okay, we'll be done with that show way before then. So
It's awesome. Old Leather. It's badass.
cool. Can't wait to hear. All right, so that's it. We will see you guys next week. Until then, see you later.
The symbol remains.
That's right.
Bye. October 9th. And tell them Rat Salad Review sent you. That's very scary.
You say you wanna know me, want me to open up. You'd like to see inside me, taste the contents of the cup. I'm gonna give you a chance to open me up and see. Just step around behind me and take this ivory key. Do you see the keyhole in the back of my head? Put the key in gently, like a lover in bed. Turn the key, my darling, open up that little door. box within. There's a box in my skull. The skull is a box and there's room for us both to go in. Yeah, a box in my head and inside there's a box, another box within. There's a box in my skull. The skull is a box and there's room for us both to go in. Reach into the cabinet that people call a skull. Is the glass half empty? Is the skull half full? Watch out for the mousetrap. Careful of the hooks. Pull the box out carefully. Hold your breath and look. Is it a disappointment to find another box? Don't you give up easily. You'll have to pick the lock. Open up enigmas. You find mysteries. Where you'll find me when you reach eternity. 'Cause there's a box in my head and inside there's a box, and that box has another box with it. There's a box in my skull. The skull is a box and there's room for us both to go